No respirator is 100% effective. Respirators have what are called assigned protection factors. The APF equals the contamination outside the respirator, 100%, divided by the contamination inside the respirator, hopefully less, say 90%. For example, an APF of 10 would be a respirator that has 1/10 the exposure, 100% outside, 90% inside. So you want to choose a respirator with the highest level of protection. A loose-fitting facepiece has no protection. A half face has a factor of protection of 10. A full-face respirator provides a factor of protection of 50, 5 times what a half face will. I have both a half face and a full-face respirator. I keep the half face in my toolbox for immediate and convenient access. I have a full face in my truck that I go and get should I find myself in a moldy place or going to inspect a dirty place such as an attic or a crawl space. There's a plethora of brands and sizes to choose from. Do an internet search on half-face respirator and full-face respirator. Choose a brand, then order a size you expect to be a good fit for your face, a small, medium, or large. You also want to order a set of P100 and OV/P100 filters to go with it, as discussed in the next lesson. I carry a half-face respirator in my toolbox. Depending on what I find after I enter someone's home, I might put on the half-face respirator. I put it on, for example, if I'm going to stick my head under a kitchen sink or inside a bathroom sink cabinet to look for mold. You never know what you might find when you poke your head in places people don't look often. I use a Honeywell North brand. You might find it works well for you too, or you might find another brand that fits the size and shape of your head better. Fit is very important. You don't want to have to cinch the straps down overly tight to make a good fit. You want the fit to remain good when you're moving around and working. If the fit isn't good, air will bypass the filter and you won't have the level of protection you think you have. There are 2 types of cartridges that I might install on my respirator, depending on what I'm doing, how bad the mold is, and if there's an odor, a musty or mold-like odor. The first is the P100 HEPA. It filters particles, including mold. The second type of filter is for odors. I use it when going into a crawl space where it might smell musty or smell like mold. The cartridge is made for removing what are called volatile organic compounds, known as VOCs. It's called an organic vapor cartridge, OV. The cartridge I would put on my respirator is a combination of the two, called an OV/P100. It provides protection for both particles and odors. I generally keep the combination filter on my respirator at all times. The P100 filters are slightly cheaper to buy. If I was doing a mold remediation project where it's dusty but there are no odors, it would be cheaper to replace several P100 filters over the course of the day than the organic vapor/P100s. One question I get asked is, how often should I change the filters? That depends on how dusty the environment you're in is. If you're crawling on your belly under the house, a lot of dust is being stirred up and you may want to change it as soon as you come out. If, on the other hand, you're doing a visual inspection of the interior of your home and don't find any mold, you probably don't need to change your filters that day. This is what I ordered to go on my North respirator in terms of P100 filters. This is what I ordered to go on my North respirator for odors. After you've chosen a brand of respirator and installed filters on it, it's time to fit test it. Watch the videos in the following lessons to see how to fit test the respirator you buy. I check the fit on my respirator every time I put it on. This seems redundant, but I once had to replace my respirator when it failed the fit test. If I'm going to go into a crawl space, attic, or a really moldy place, I wear the full-face respirator. I use the same brand, a Honeywell, and the same cartridges that I use for my half-face respirator will fit it. So I only need to keep track of one set of cartridges to order. The face shield keeps dirt, insulation, and other stuff out of my eyes. And as you understand now, a full-face respirator provides 5 times the level of protection as a half-face respirator with the same cartridges. To fit test the respirator, once you've got it on your face, follow the instructions to adjust the straps. Take both hands, cover the filters, and then try to breathe in. You see how the mask gets sucked to my face? And I don't feel any air leaking around the edges. That's a good fit. To fit test the respirator, put it on following the instructions that come with it in terms of adjusting straps. And then when you're ready, take both hands, place them over the filters to cover them, and then we try to suck air. Notice how the mask gets sucked onto my face. And I can't feel any air leaking around the edges. That's a good fit.